In the morning when I wake up and I stumble out of bed,
I put my pointy hat on my little pointy head.
and it doesn't much matter if the sky is rain or shine,
Because the gnome is happy all the time.
They said a gnome is a happy fellow almost all the time.
We said the gnome is a happy fellow all the time.
Oh, I travel round the land and wherever I roam,
From the mountains in the distance to the place back home.
I raise my head and say in a loud resounding voice,
Being a gnome is awfully nice.
Hey guys, Zelink the One here, and I have the second part of the MSR challenge on Bakaara. If you don't know the rules of it, just simply I can only use the MSR, and I use predators to take out the helicopter just to save time and money for that matter, because it takes a lot of money to do this challenge, and it was a hard challenge, like I said in the first video. But today, I'm going to talk about a little bit about SOPA, or SOPA. And before I do so, that intro I thought was funny as hell. It's from Fable 3. I just experienced it today, and it's the Gnome song. I just thought it was funny as hell and thought you all had to hear it. If it's not funny to you, I'm sorry. I found it hilarious, and so did my roommate. It was just a amusing song. But back on the topic of SOPA, what I suggest before you do anything that has to do with SOPA, I haven't done this myself, but I don't plan on protesting or agreeing with it until I do so, and I probably won't read it because I'm lazy. But what I suggest you do is go and read the entire document for SOPA. If you do not know all the details, your opinion is kind of wrong. I mean, not to say, well, I like to think that there are wrong opinions out there just because they have no intelligence behind it. Like, I don't even want to think of an example because I'll sound retarded or it'll be too funny for me to even comprehend. But just make sure you read the entire document, because if you don't know what you're getting yourself into, you're gonna fuck yourself over possibly, and possibly your friends as well. But what I want to talk about SOPA is not the actual document itself, but how the internet and the censorship goes together and what we have gained and lost. And I think I should talk about what we've lost throughout the years. We've lost a lot of intelligence with some people. The internet has like killed some people's brains to the point where you can't tell if they're trolling or they're literally retarded, because you know there are some times out there where people are being legitimately serious and they're asking questions that you think they should obviously know. Like my friend, actually this is kind of sad that someone fell for this. A friend of mine in a chat of a stream on Twitch TV was literally being asked if they could be added on PSN, right? So he said, yeah, sure, add my PSN ID. And he typed in GU11_Y_BU11. If you need me to spell that out for you, that spells gullible in a different way than what it's normally spelled, but it's quite obvious it spells gullible, right? And the kid literally put that PSN ID in the friend request section and said that account wasn't registered. Like, why? I mean, the gullible joke has been going around for years, and if you don't know what the gullible joke is, I think the original joke was, hey, did you know gullible was written on the ceiling? And if someone looked up, you'd start laughing just because you know they're gonna realize what they just did in a moment, and they usually end up realizing it. But this kid didn't realize shit about the gullible stuff. What else have we lost? I mean, I don't really know what we've lost, because it's more about gaining. Like, when we have more censorship, like a forum or like a website tends to be less fun and less awesome. But there are a lot of forums and websites out there that have like a lot of censorship, like cuss words aren't allowed and stuff or whatever. It's all asterisked out, and they're still awesome. But I mean, a lot of the time we use those words so casually and images so casually that it doesn't affect us anymore. It's gotten to the point where our generation is a lot less disturbed about things than the past generation, even though that's kind of disturbing in itself. I mean, nowadays, if you see tits on the screen, literally, if you see tits on the screen, you're like, okay, sweet. back then, if you saw tits on the screen, you were like either afraid to get caught that you were watching it, or you were ashamed. I can't say that for sure because I'm more of a new age person. I'm only what 20 in about 30 days tops. I don't remember. What's today's date? Today's like the 18th because it's blacked out. So less than a month away, I will be 20. So I'm like in the newer age. But yeah, tits. It's like okay, tits, whatever. Sexual humor. It used to be back in the old days, like sexual humor was very hard to get away with unless you was like a really close group of friends. Nowadays, sexual humor is just thrown out there. Stuff like your mom, that's what she said. You hear that on a daily basis, or at least I used to hear that on a daily basis. And now I'm going to talk about what we gained through the internet itself. We've gained so much, and I'm going to talk about one main aspect of that, and that's friendship. A lot of people will say that you can't really make friends with someone online or someone through the internet because you don't see them face to face on a daily basis, so they're not technically your friend or whatever. But I mean, the definition of a friend should be someone you get along with and enjoy spending your time with, whether it be face to face, chatting over the internet, or playing games like via Xbox Live, stream. Why did I say stream? Wow, Steam, PSN, or any kind of interaction. And that's how I define a friend. I mean, some of my best friends I don't know in person, but I feel like I know them in person. You know what I mean? In fact, you'll see on the screen a couple of times, or at least one time, you'll see XHNR log on. Dude's been my friend for ages. When I first got a PS3, I don't remember actually. Actually, I do remember how I found him. When I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, I had a friend, and we both had a PS3. So I was like, "Hey, dude, you want to play on PS3?" I'm like, "Sure." And we became amazingly fun friends on that game. I think it was Modern Warfare 2. We started quickscoping and stuff. And his friend was actually this guy, and his name is David. And we clicked pretty damn well. And what's really funny is that when I got an Xbox, I still had my PS3, but when I got an Xbox over the past year, in a random lobby on Black Ops, he ended up being on the other team. I didn't even know, like, he didn't know I got an Xbox. I didn't know he got an Xbox. But we met in a random ass lobby on Search and Destroy Black Ops. I think it was the map of Jungle. And he was rocking the clan tag that I used to rock for like friends. We had this really close group of friends that we had Get 'em G3TM. That's why some of my channels used to be Get 'em Productions and stuff like that. Sorry if I'm going off on random tangents. My mind does this, but he was rocking the clan tag Get 'em, right? So I was like, who's rocking our clan tag? No one does that except us. Like literally, I've never seen anybody do that except people who were in a lobby and got shit on by us and like tried to be like us or whatever. They're like, oh look, we get 'em, boo. But I was like, who's this scrub rocking my Get 'em tag? And he turns his mic on, and I'm like, wait, David, is that you? And he's like, Shane, is that what the fuck, bro? And we basically had a reminiscent moment. And ever since then, we've been playing on Xbox as well, and just having a blast as friends. So, if sites can get shut down, like I said, I don't know all the terms, or many of the terms of SOPA, but if sites get shut down because of censorship, and that's like the founding place for people to become friends, that's just lame. I mean, we shouldn't be giving the government control over how we communicate with people. That's just stupid. I mean, there are times on the internet where I'm just sad that people do what they do, but you notice that parts of the internet that have that are somewhere else. They're not like combined together. I think Reddit's like one of the only sites you have everything just thrown together, and it's a master clusterfuck of just bleh. I mean, if you want to talk to your real life friends over the internet, you go to Facebook. And to be more in depth, Facebook is like that location where you keep in contact with people you don't want to keep in contact with sometimes, but you kind of have to. Twitter is the basically the online association of Facebook. That sounds kind of weird, but I mean, Facebook is where you go to talk to people you know in real life, or you keep track of people you don't really want to talk to but you need to for certain reasons. Twitter is for expanding your social life with gaming or music or any kind of hobby or social life you contain that other people also contain. And it's a great way to make more friends in that category of hobbies or whatever you want to call it. And I've met a lot of cool people on there. In fact, I think that's how I met a lot of some of my. I don't even know, to be honest, because when you start playing games online and you go on live, you make a friend. Sometimes you make friends with their friends, and this starts to expand and expand. So back in the old days, I think I started off with Sneaky. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he used to be an old friend of mine, and I made friends with Dutchy through him, and then I made friends with Cyanide Epic through him, and like it just kept going and going. Like once you make a friend with someone and you play with them often, you make more friends through that. It's a social network in itself, and without this, I would feel kind of lonely online. I mean, if you only made a friend or two once a month, maybe, you'd feel kind of lonely when you're online. But it seems once you get into that like swagging something, I don't even know what to call it, just in that loop or that comfort zone, and you keep going, getting more friends and stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I've been rambling random ass shit, but basically the main point is read the SOPA document before you say anything. If you don't read it and oppose it, you're probably doing it wrong. If you do read it and you don't oppose it, that's good for you. That's your opinion. That's how you feel. I just hope we are able to maintain the same freedom we have now, so we can make more friends, grow our communities out, and basically have fun times. I mean, I don't understand how people always like, oh, the internet, blah blah blah. It's not as fun as real life. It's like you can have just as good times online as you can in real life, and I've had amazing times in both. So if you disagree, you're probably closed-minded and need some mental help. But if you agree, then you've probably lived your life better than a lot of people have. I mean, that's all I really have to say. I'm sorry if I like destroyed your mind with how random I was. I didn't even know what I wanted to talk about SOPA when I started this commentary, but I just kept going. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
They're running scared. Keep up the good work. Predator missile ready for deployment. Team, large enemy force moving towards your location. Well done.